Another game from a recent tournament stream. It is myself versus Stretch of ODM. This was the decider of that series and of that tournament. And we have Cathay versus Vampire Coast, two factions considered to be a little bit too strong right now. A little bit being generous, but a little bit too strong right now in land battles. Generally, I find Archer Spam versus the Vampire Coast to be a good way to go. None of their units enjoy archers. Like, bats are pretty adept at dodging them if your micro's on top of it, but they don't have... I don't think they have any shielded infantry. Literally none. Some of their ranged units have low health pools. Cannons generally don't like dealing with archers. Animated Hulks are unshielded, so there's a lot of things that don't like shields. So for the Cathay build, it is just Archer Spam. We have Jade Warrior Crossmen, Peasant Archers, Jade Warrior Crossmen, Peasants, yada yada. But in the back, we get a little spicy with two Celestial Dragon Crossmen, front line of Jade Warriors, back line of Peasant Spears, and then we do have two Jade Lancers, and a Dragonblood Shugi Lord of Yin with Talons of Night and Storm of Shadows. On the other side for the Vampire Coast, we do have three Bomber Bats. They were listed as some of the most OP units in the game right now, and we can see with one volley, they take half health off that Jade Warrior Crossman, who is now getting shot in the butt. We also have, it looks like, two Scurvy Dogs, one Depth Guard in the trees, two more Depth Guard with the formation over there. Like I said, we have a third Bomber Bat, though this one is not dodging the arrows, and it is taking fire from three different archer units, including the Celestial Dragon Crossman, so I've pushed off. Noctilus, handgun mobs, pistol mobs, animated hulks, more sword and boards, two bomber bros, another handgun mob, and more animated hulks. Yes, yes. But with all the harassment, this Jade Warrior Crossman is already pushed off the field. It looks like there are dogs and depth guard waiting to sweep them. Coast invested in the back line, tried to use their dogs to sneak in, but Jade Lancers are plenty adept at chasing them off. And in future iterations of playing this matchup a couple times, I actually really like Jade Lancers. I think they can carry this entire game on their backs. They're incredible units versus the Coast. Scurvy Dogs are going to get worked down. They'll have a bad time. Noctilus did run straight into my lines to try and shut down the archers with some summons, really mucked them up, but I just put guard mode on and I gave him orders to ignore it. We need to take out the depth guard. So I think Anna Bombers now fighting Celestial Dragon Crossmen. They will lose that fight and they will crumble away to nothingness. Noctilus uses a Epitaph to get himself out of some Jade Warriors, but it might not be enough, as they are getting harmony bonuses. Now, Bats on the far side getting completely drilled down by 4 or 5 archer units. Looks like 4. But you can see the nasty volleys they unleash, just crippling these peasant archers and really taking them down to size. So those bad boys can be rather annoying if they're used in more of a kite fashion. If they stand and fight, sure, they'll take a lot of damage and they'll even lose, as we saw. Realizing these bombers are getting too close for my liking, even with all of the archer fire, I'm going to run one of my Jade Lancers into the backfield just to try and finish off that one that's already so low. I want to get it to its disintegrating state so it goes away, and I don't have to deal with it anymore. The other Jade Lancer is desperately trying to hold some depth guard away from my archers. You can see that that is a losing fight as this side has become saturated with zombies. Other side, without a Jade Lancer to do my dirty work for me, I am just using a mass amount of arrows to try and kill off this bomber mob, but they get their volley off onto the Jade Warriors anyway. That is soon going to break them, unleashing more undead upon my backline. These Jade Warrior Crossmen are entirely fucked, as they are surrounded by Depth Guard and Animated Hulks, and I realize my caster is actually in some trouble if I don't pull her out of there immediately. Balance power is about even, maybe slightly Coast favored, but we do have Jade Lancers just sweeping through the back lines now that are undefended. Full health handgun mob is getting charged down by my guys. We do have 2 units crumbling, so we're just trying to hold out hope for now. Big Pit of Shades cast for my opponent hits 3 infantry units. It's going to do a good amount of damage over there, but I do have rallying forces on the far side. There's only 1 dog left alive to try and chase them all off. 2 zombie units are overlapping. I decided to throw down a quick Talons of Night and just clear out some of the chaff and buy my archers some space, because even though they're not that dangerous, they are stopping my archers from doing things. So I sacrifice a Peasant Archer for the greater good of these Celestial Dragon Crossmen in the backfield. They even throw a slow into these Depth Guard to give us some space. Jade Lancers still killing off all these gun mobs in the back, and the balance power goes further against us as Noctilus throws out more summons. Dogs are now fighting Celestial Dragon Crossmen. The Celestial Dragon Crossmen have 95 armor and 33 melee defense. They ain't going anywhere. These Scurvy Dogs are about to realize that. And if we can get rid of the Scurvy Dogs, then there's no more units left to chase things off the map, meaning I can rally to my heart's content. Soon we'll have an enclave of safety over here as more and more melee units are starting to rally. But we do have 1 Bomber Bat left alive, unfortunately. It was able to use all of its ammunition and kill off plenty of my archers.
Cathay is in mass exodus right now. Balance of power is against us, and I would have to agree. We have 2 healthy Jade Lancers, a whole bunch of routing peasants who have seen better days. We have a full health caster, but that's it. On the other side, we have full health Depth Guard, half health Depth Guard, almost dead Depth Guard, but can still get healing, a whole bunch of chaff, 1 animated Hulk left. These bombers are out of ammunition, but they can still chase stuff down, and we have Noctilus. So it's going to be a hard sell. Jade Warriors are rallying. They'll have to come back into the fight to protect these Celestial Dragon Crossmen who tried to get a shot on these Depth Guard, but the Depth Guard are getting pathed straight through the Peasant Long Spears that were trying to defend them. These Celestial Dragons are going to have to run again. Dragonblood Shugi Lord's been kept alive, which is very nice. And Talons of Night, is it Overcast? Yeah, that's Overcast if it's doing that much damage. So that's a good catch. Unfortunately, Celestial Dragon Guard are not having a good day. Though, with the animated Hulk's dead and that Talons of Night helping out. Ooh, didn't help out enough, yeah. And then Nox is going to Pit of Shades. That'll be a bad time for that very, very elite crossbow unit. Anyway, across the field, Cathay does have some archers coming back. They're all trying to help protect each other, trying to help protect the Shugi Lord, who slows down some animated Hulks and starts firing at them. That Pit of Shades was very costly, and Noctilus knocks out 2 more units that I really needed. On the backfield, some Jade Warrior Crosswomen with shields have rallied, now shooting into random zombies, and Jade Lancers are even going to charge through more zombies as these other Jade Lancers charge through Depth Guard. We really just need to secure some areas, some point of strength. Peasant Archers teeing off in the animated Hulks, but they will get side charged by bats, and that'll probably rout them off, because peasants are little cowards. Yep, there they go. And they even shatter. Bounce power still not in Cathay's favor. Is that a summon? That does not appear to be a summon. Are there even any summons? No, these are all natural. Jade Lancer's still trying to crumble off these zombies and just leave us with elite units. All 3 Depth Guard are still technically alive. Their heal caps are within sight, but they're still technically alive. And man, undead crumbling is a silly concept. Look at that. Look at that. Getting rear charged, and these guys still have enough leadership not to disintegrate. So we're just letting our Jade Warriors try and crumble down these little guys. We just want to get rid of all the random chaff and get it down to just elite units. Jade Lancers are going to push off Count Noctilus, buy us a little bit more time as I regroup more and more archers. The animated Hulks are even starting to crumble. Good shots onto the Depth Guard. Depth Guard take a lot of damage. 90 armor isn't protecting them for shit. Yeah. Looks like the Coast is trying to group up for an Overcast Invocation hack. We're still trying to kill these fucking zombies off on the side. Just try and get rid of them. But as these guys group up, we can see the Shugi Lord is moving in range for a 3-for-1 Talons of Night on the units that we're just trying to rally. And she does so much Overcast damage to herself, but that does mean it's going to do a lot more damage than a normal cast, and it might even kill off those units. An Overcast Invocation deck is used to try and save them, but it won't be enough. It looks like they have started to crumble, and not even close to crumble, but we got a couple of them. One of the Depth Guard looks like died to Archer Fire before it could group up, and we do have some Celestial Dragon Crossmen back from the trees. Jade Warrior Crossmen getting pushed off over here. Other Celestial Dragon Crossmen still alive. Balance of power still looks bad for Cathay as Jade Lancers charge in, getting these Depth Guard to continue crumbling, and trying to get the animated Hulks to follow suit. Storm of Shadows trying to slow down those Depth Guard, but they do catch the Jade Warrior Crossmen, and they will take them out. Bomber Bats are gone. Gone. Bomber Bats are gone. Depth Guard are slowly dying. Animated Hulks are slowly dying. Celestial Dragon Crossmen have come back from the trees. Now is a hard part for the Vampire Coast. They just have to go so many different directions because all the threats are spread out over the map. Depth Guard still dying. There they go. They're gone. Animated Hulks will soon follow. And Jade Lancers get another charge out of these Depth Guard off in the distance. As another Talons of Night is coming out, or is that a Pit of Shades? Oh, it's a Talons of Night. Okay. Oh, there's a Pit of Shades. On these Celestial Dragon Crossmen. Ow! Owie! Animated Hulks crumble away. Celestial Dragon Crossmen have had a bad day. These Depth Guard are holding on to their leadership. They get charged once again by Jade Lancers trying to take them out. We do have a couple rallying Cathay units over here. They're all trying to stay in harmony of each other to keep that leadership so that they don't break. Because their leadership's so low that +6 from the harmony is actually pretty impactful. Noctilus is chasing down the Celestial Dragon Guard. They are going to shatter here. That is very unfortunate for them. The Depth Guard even managed to push off those Jade Lancers while they're getting shot by this Celestial Dragon Guard. There they go. These guys have shattered. It's Nocti and a Depth Guard. We have almost gotten army losses on the Cathay side. Cathay has no hope in this game according to the balance of power, but the Cathay player, i.e. me, ain't ready to give up this tournament just because the balance of power says no. Depth Guard getting Gatling Gun down. They're down to 350 health sub. They are crumbling. Noctilus gets slowed in front of all these crossmen. We're just trying to take them out. These guys are still getting shot by Celestial Dragon crossmen. Taking damage down to 100. 130, 150, 120, 100, 98, 80. They take another volley. They're still charging. I'm getting very concerned they're actually going to reach my Celestial Dragon Crossman, but then they finally die. This Jade Warrior Crossman is still shooting at Noctilus, and I do set up some cav flanks, though that might not be wise considering how low their leadership is getting. Do want everybody to be in the Harmony party, so I'm going to move away my Crossman just as far as I need to until the Harmony would fail, but this does give us 33, 38 stats on our Jade Lancers. Jade Warriors get ready to fire again as the Cycle Charge leaves. Balance of power getting a little closer to the middle, though Noctilus still has plenty of healing left to go if he wants it. Our fledgling infantry are hanging in there. Jade Lancers have lost the Harmony bonus, but their leadership is alright, they will live. Trying to get some shots on this guy at point blank range. We know my Jade Warrior is already dead. We know my Peasant Longspear is already dead. So they're going to take some friendly fire, but it is acceptable losses. As Jade Lancers are going to charge downhill, try and get a good hit onto Noctilus. Doesn't look like they get that much damage out. And he is going to continue grinding. I'll play this at ×2 speed for now, while we do a bit of a bump and grind. Peasants all route away. Storm of Shadows cast on him to slow him down as 2 archers are going to shoot him in the face. Jade Lancers are so close to routing, they need to get back close to the archers for the Yin and Yang Harmony bonus, which they will do. But the slowed down Noctilus is actually getting shot in the face by the Celestial Dragon Guard, by the Jade Warriors. He's trying to dodge, he's trying to juke, he's trying to run around. But it's not enough, and he takes a lot of damage on his way in, and then he gets a charge off. The Jade Lancers have accepted that those Warrior Crossmen are probably doomed. Instead, they'll all just stand off and let the Celestial Dragon Guard shoot. The Celestial Dragon Guard do have a lot of ammunition. Noctilus abandons his prey, hoping it'll just break, and it does break and even shatters without him. The Celestial Dragons get just an amazing point-blank shot. Balance of power tips into Cathay's favor for the first time in a long, long time. And Cathay is going to try to fall back, let the Jade Lancers block up Noctilus, but he ain't having any of it. He's pathing straight through him. And the Jade Lancers have him surrounded. Storm of Shadows to reduce his speed because he was chasing by Celestial Dragons. I was like, stop it, just stop it. Let them get away. They're trying to get away. They're trying to turn and fire. And since most of them have gathered near the rally point, Cathay player gives them orders to shoot, but they don't shoot, but they don't shoot, but they go back in. They're going into melee, but why? The Cathay player, me, charges the Jade Lancers back in. He's like, please, please, you stupid idiot Celestial Dragon Crossman, you're my only hope. Just back the fuck off and shoot. Here we are getting down. Noctilus is now into crumbling territory. Again, the Celestial Dragon Crossmen have gotten distance. Celestial Dragon Crossmen get orders to shoot. Celestial Dragon Crossmen sprint into melee for no reason. Just do not set up, and they do not shoot. At this point, Noctilus is so low, and we are so desperate, we just throw our Jade Lancers in one more time. We can't even get the Celestial Dragon Crossman away, but it will be enough. It looks like he falls so low that he starts to crumble, and army losses will set in, and Cathay fucking does it. But that was the final of that tournament, and it was a very intense game. Knees weak, arms heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. Jade Lancers did an amazing job. Celestial Dragon Crossmen also did very well. Jade Warrior Crossbows did fine. Jade Warriors did okay. They just had to hold the front line. Peasant Archers did fine. For Noctilus, he himself did great. His Depth Guard did very well. Value-wise, not so much, but they were just extremely annoying and chased a lot of my archers around and kept me on my toes. Bomber Bats didn't get amazing value. One did, but the others did not. They got focus fired pretty hard. And Dogs also struggled against the Jade Lancers, but Animated Hulks did all right. And that was a game. That was a banger between Tretch and some noob. Roar!
Subscribe, yes, yes.